Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed the crime. As you stand before me, of course, today I presume that you're innocent. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the state can prove the charges against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this morning, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit of the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if the bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be, and if you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make the call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Very good. You all solemnly swear, affirm, tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Very good. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Shannon Keller. Morning, miss. What's your date of birth?
May 9th, 1990.
All right, Shannon, you're here on two charges. I've got DUI with damage and driving an unregistered motor vehicle. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Or would you like me to appoint the public defender?
I'll get a PA.
Pardon me?
The public defender.
Very good. I'll appoint the PD. State what you tell me.
First arrest. First DUI.
And Shannon, I have an address for you on Hazelcrest Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
3.5 years.
You have a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I work for the blood bank down in Pasco County.
Okay. On the DUI, I'll set your bond at $500. On the unregistered vehicle at ROR, so your total is $500. Going to have you back in court on September 20th. Very important that you go see the PD when you get out, all right?
Okay, and I've not been given a phone call since I've been here.
Okay. I'm sure they'll let you use the phone now so you can get somebody to get you out, all right?
All right, thank you.
Christine Kingery. Want to miss what's your date of birth?
1/29/71.
All right, Christine, you're here on a probable cause arrest for violation of probation. There is probable cause for the VOP. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. Bond, of course, is going to be no bond. I'll have you back in court on the 25th of September. The public defender will come see you before that court date, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Amber Melson. Morning, Miss Melson. What's your date of birth?
11/18/1990.
Amber, you're here on a warrant that I signed because you failed to appear in my court on a charge of no valid driver's license. State, do you have any significant history?
Yes. Goes back to about the last 10 years. Drugs, failure to appear, probation violations, bunch of them. She's been to prison.
Okay. All right.
All right. In this county, in Hillsborough in June, she's got a whole bunch of
Probably
charges.
FDA. That's when she FDA'd.
And they look like they dropped most of them.
Amber, did you do any time in Hillsborough County in June or July?
No, sir.
Okay. You can resolve this case today if you wish. It'll be 30 days in the county jail. If you'd rather have a chance to speak to a lawyer first, you sure can do that. What do you think you'd like to do? You don't have to take the 30 days. I'm offering that if you're interested.
Well, I have a private attorney
Okay.
that's supposed to be working on this case.
Okay. All right. I'm going to leave the bond for the warrant, which is $5,000. I'll have you back in court on September 20th. Make sure you tell your lawyer about that date, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jennifer Tier.
Judge, we're asking for a bond on this case. She's been in touch with our office.
Morning.
She's made a whole host of other court dates. This is the first one she missed. It was a bit confusing. She had
What's her
three
name?
court dates. Jennifer Terry.
Okay.
She had 3 court dates in the month of September. Also a Pasco case that she's since resolved. But she's been in touch with our office, and we're just requesting a bond.
Okay. Jennifer, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. Apparently you failed to appear in his court on a charge of burglary of a conveyance. Obviously, the public defender is making an argument, so we'll continue the appointment of the public defender. Judge Merritt set your bond at no bond. I am not going to change that.
Thank you.
I'll send you back to see him on the 19th of September. They told you the 25th, it looks like, but the correct date is the 19th, and now the PD will come see you at jail before your court date, okay?
Can I please reconsider the bond, please, Your Honor?
Jennifer, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There are no combination of words in the English language that you could string together that would get you a bond this morning. Maybe in front of Judge Merritt, but not from me. Okay? Thank you. Jennifer, nothing. Sit down. Christine Winkler Barber.
Good morning.
Want to miss what's your date of birth?
10967.
Christine, you're here on a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for violation of probation. Folks at probation are recommending 180 days. You could take that this morning if you wanted to. Makes more sense, obviously, to speak to a lawyer first. Would you like to hire your own lawyer, or you want the public defender?
The public defender?
I'll point the PD.
Just say,
Go
Your Honor,
ahead.
can I just say something?
Sure.
When I was in the courtroom, I was in a program in Orlando that took me there, and they were supposed to help me with the probation part of this, because I will do community hours, I will do whatever I have to do. I take care of my mother back in Sarasota. She's 78. I will do whatever I have to do to get a bond today to show that I can make up these community hours, do whatever I need to do. I could get caught up on the restitution. I have a JPay account. I assumed that money was going towards that. I did not know.
Okay. Well, that's all great, but quite frankly, what happened is I sentenced you on the 30th of March, and you never went to probation. You never contacted them. You never did anything.
Yes, Your Honor, my probation office in Orlando contacted them. We contacted them every week for a month and a half. We kept giving them my name, my court numbers. I called the public defender's office. No one had any information on anything. I am not avoiding nothing, Your Honor.
You had the information. I sentenced you. You had all the information.
When I left your courtroom that day, I went to the public defenders and I signed a piece of paper, and they said that I was good to go. And I'm not familiar with your system here. So,
the system here is like the system everywhere. You stood in front of me. You entered a plea. I told you at least twice what the conditions were. I gave you the conditions in writing, and you walked out the door. You had a meeting not with the public defender, but with a probation officer, for Pete's sake, who went over the conditions with you again. So the bond will be no bond. You'll be back in court on the 20th of September. Please have a seat. Dorinda Wood.
Good morning.
Morning, Miss Wood. What's your date of birth?
11/26/1967.
All right. Dorinda, this morning I've got possession of controlled substance and possession of new legend drug. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point to PD. State last couple of years.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of records.
She's got a lot of records. She's also on. Is this the felony position? All right, so she's on the. She's also got a misdemeanor case that she bonded out on. 17 MM2042. The date of offense on that was 6/6/17.
Okay, that's pending.
I believe so.
Okay. Angela, can you let me know?
17 MM2042. She's an FTA from July 14th in this county.
There is a bond. She's set for a pretrial on 9/21.
9/21?
Yes.
Okay.
The offense date was 6/9.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, all right, then, Dorinda, what we'll do on this case is leave the bonds per the schedule, which is $2,000 and $1,000 respectively. These will be back in felony court on the 25th of September. Then the other thing we're going to do, job number one when you're out on bond, is don't pick up new criminal charges. It appears to me that you've done that. So pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471, I'm going to revoke your pretrial release in case number 17, is it MM?
Yes.
2042. I'll hold you without bond until you get back to see me on that one on the 21st. On the 21st, we will probably be able to resolve your misdemeanor case, and then you'll be eligible to bond out on these new charges if you wish to, all right?
Sir.
Thank you. Albert Bizzario.
What's the name, sir?
Bizzario.
R?
Good morning, Your Honor.
B.
Oh.
Morning, Albert.
Gotcha.
Albert, you're here on 3 warrants that I signed. They're all FTAs for notices to appear on VOPs. Ms. Nettie, is there a recommendation for Albert?
Yes, it's 90 days.
And
Concurrent.
that takes care of everything?
Yes.
Okay. Albert, if you wanted to do 90 days in the county jail, that would take care of all of your cases. If you'd rather have a chance to speak to the public defender first, you sure can do that. If you want to speak to the PD, you'll be back in front of me in less than 3 weeks. You'll be getting credit time while you're there. You can see if the PD can get you something better than 90 days. Would you like to do that?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'll appoint the PD on all of his cases. Leave the bond on each of them at no bond. Have it back September 20th. PD will be out to see you, Albert.
Very good.
Thank you. I'm going to have to fill them out later. Corey Kofelt. Morning, Corey. What's your date of birth?
Good morning. 12/28/1989.
Okay. All right, Corey, I got 2 warrants for you out of Pasco County. One is for a violation of probation. The other is a fail to appear warrant. The judge or judges that issued those warrants found probable cause. Set your bond on the VOP at no bond and on the FTA at $5,013. I can't change those. We'll let Pasco know that you're here and ready to go. I'll give them 5 days to come get you. It doesn't take 5 days with Pasco, but if for some strange reason you're still here 5 days from now, they'll bring you back to see me, and I'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Paul Galloway. Morning, Paul. What's your date of birth?
2/1983.
Paul, first thing I have for you is a warrant signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for a violation of probation. And we have 3 new charges: possession of paraphernalia, driving on a suspended license, and possession of ammunition by convicted felon, or no valid license, excuse me. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. The bond, of course, on the VOP is no bond. That case will be back September 25th. And then on the new charges, because you can't bond out, I'm going to leave the bonds per the schedule, which is $1,000, $1,000, and $10,000 respectively. I'll have those also come back on the 25th, so all your cases are coming back on the same date. And the public defender is going to come see you at the jail before your court date, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Is the date the same? I'm sorry.
Yes,
9/25? Okay.
10/25.
Got distracted for a sec.
William Heiser.
The victim's present in that case, sir.
Morning, Mr. Heiser. What's your date of birth?
2/22/81.
And Mr. Heiser, you're here on a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for a domestic battery. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, or would you like the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'll appoint the public defender and state any history.
Yeah, he's got some out-of-state history from Arizona from about 3 or 4 years ago with dealing in stolen property, and he has some charges, I believe, out of Jersey, drug charges, flee to elude. I think he was here on vacation. He doesn't live in. He reports that he lives in Jersey.
Right. Okay. And Truly Heiser is here.
Yes.
You want to speak, Truly?
Yes.
Come on up. Oops, sorry. Raise your right hand for me. Solemnly swear firm, tell truth, whole truth, none but the truth.
Yes.
State your name.
Truly Heiser.
All right, Truly, what do you want to tell me?
I'm the victim's wife, Your Honor. We were here on vacation. Things just got out of control. I take medication, and I've just been newly diagnosed with a disorder. And apparently it's not absorbing right, and I was overdosing myself. I don't remember the incident. I don't remember much of anything. I'm not afraid of my husband. I love my husband very much. I just want to go home and return to our life. We've lost our job. We've been living in our car for 3 weeks. I have no fear of my husband.
Okay.
I
Okay. How long have you been married?
July was a year.
Okay. And how long have you known him?
2 years.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you to get here to
No,
get you to
no.
come here and ask for contact?
No, I just want to go home. I just want to do my
Okay.
husband.
Well, you realize even if I let you guys have contact and you want to go home, which looks like it's New Jersey, is that right? He's still going to have to be back here. He's going to have a court
Yes,
hearing in
I understand
September.
that, Your Honor. I do.
Okay.
I will have him here
And
for
not
court.
coming for that would make things even worse.
I will have him here for court. I will.
Okay.
I explained to Miss Heiser that she could come up to our office after this, do an intake, speak to a prosecutor, make a decision on what's going to happen with this
And
case.
absolutely do that, Truly.
I will.
Because you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
the advice Ms. Daly gave you is exactly the advice I'm about to give you. So make sure that you do that as soon as we're done, right up to the fourth
Okay.
floor. Let them know who you are and why you're there, and do that this morning. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And William, I have an address for you in Egg Harbor, New Jersey. That's where you live.
Yes, sir.
And you have it sounds like you don't have a job anymore. Is that right?
As of right now, no. I mean, I'm sure I can get back to work, Your Honor, if I can get my feet started and head back there, but that's up to you.
Okay. All right. I'm going to set a bond of $50. I'll allow peaceful contact. For you too, what peaceful contact means, William, it's always a crime to touch Truly any way she doesn't want to be touched. It could be a violation of your bond conditions if you so much as raise your voice. So all contact you have with her until this gets settled is going to be peaceful contact. Truly, if you ever felt like you needed to call 911, you can always call 911.
I understand.
This doesn't change anything,
I
all right?
understand.
I'm going to have you guys back on the 20th of September, all right? So
Yes.
make sure he's back.
I'll have him
If
back.
there's nothing else, keep him there. $50 will get him out this morning, all right?
Okay. Thank
All right,
you.
very good. But you make your appointment upstairs first, all right?
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Howard, were we appointed?
Yes.
Thank you.
Brent Kaufman? Morning, Brent. What's your date of birth?
August 4th, 1979.
Brent, this is a burglary of a conveyance of probable cause for the charge. As to this charge, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Public defender, please.
Appoint the PD, and I think Brent has open felonies that are someplace.
Sorry, is this Mr. Kaufman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some history of theft, drugs, Willis, bops, and I believe there's a theft warrant.
I think he had first appearance not that long ago. I think he's got something.
17 mm 3031.
Okay. And that's set for arraignment on the 20th, probably?
There's two of them. Wait,
It could be
3031 and
There
3032.
were two petty thefts.
Yeah.
Okay, but he hasn't gotten out since those. So. Okay. All right, so Brent, on this one, this is a felony charge. I'll leave the bond per the schedule, which is the $5,000. This one's coming back on the 25th of September. PD will come see about all your cases at the jail, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Danny McIntosh?
Oh, wow.
Morning, Danny. Date of birth?
6/6/57.
All right, and in a development that comes as a surprise to none of us, you've now been charged with giving a false name to a law enforcement officer. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, I think we appointed the public defender yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll appoint the PD on this one too. On this one, I'll set the bond at $500. It's coming back on the 20th of September, where your charges from yesterday are coming from. So if you get out, make sure you go see the PD. Otherwise, they'll come see you about all your charges.
I've been working so hard
I
on
heard it all
going through his
yesterday.
record. I really, oh
He
man.
was Bruce Easley yesterday, but he admitted he was Danny McIntosh.
Okay,
That was the first
fine.
words out of his mouth yesterday. So, all right, Jonathan Prout. Morning, Jonathan. What's your date of birth?
Morning, it's 9/25/88.
All right, Jonathan, I have a warrant for you, or a warrant or two warrants. It looks like it's one warrant. Out of Pasco County, the judge had issued the warrant, found probable cause for a burglary and a grand theft, and set your bonds at $250,000 and $50,000 respectively. I can't change those. If you were able to post those bonds, you could get out of jail here, go down to Pasco, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post them, I'll give Pasco 5 days to come get you. Like I said, it doesn't take 5 days with Pasco. But if you're still here in 5, they'll bring you back to see me, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Carl Thomas.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Carl. What's your date of birth?
2864.
All right. Carl, I got possession of marijuana, possession of paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD, State.
Let's see. His record goes back to 2000. Marijuana paraphernalia, DUI, marijuana paraphernalia. Those were all a couple of years ago. 2009 violation of probation, driving unsuspended, and 2014 driving unsuspended, and no out-of-state history.
The probation says that a warrant will be coming, so.
Oh, he's on probation?
Yeah.
This is Carl Thomas. Yes, he was doing probation on 17 MM 1011.
Marijuana?
I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Carl. I'll leave the bonds for the schedule, which is $1,000 on each case. Sounds like you're on probation right now. Does that sound familiar?
Yes, sir, I was.
Okay. So they're gonna, in the next day or two, they'll be issuing a warrant for a BOP on your probation. So before you spend any money bonding out on these charges, you might want to think twice about that, because they're going to issue that warrant. That warrant will have a no bond on it. So if you spend money getting out on these charges, then when they pick you up on that warrant, you'll be out the money you spent on these. If you stay in, you'll get credit on these and the BOP from yesterday when you got arrested, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll have you back on the 20th, Carl. If you don't come out, the public defender's going to come see you at the jail, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jason Usidrin.
Yes, Your Honor.
Morning, Jason. This is 2 counts of probable cause arrest for violation of probation. There is probable cause for the VOP. Looks like you were sentenced in Pasco and being supervised here in Hernando. Is that right?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. So, as to the 2 counts, the bond will be no bond. We'll let Pasco know you're here and ready to go. As you've heard me say a couple of times, they got 5 days to come get you, okay?
You got it. Thank
Thank
you, Your
you.
Honor.
And Cody Curl. Cody's on bond, too. Morning, Cody. What's your date of birth?
8/31/90.
All right. Charge this morning is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Or would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD. See, you have something open right now?
Yeah, it looks like he was arrested on the 25th of August for battery.
Your Honor, I was told it wasn't a domestic.
Okay, hang on. Let's see what Angela, do you have any? I know he was in first appearance this week.
Yes, sir. I'm seeing 17 MM 3139. That was the offense date of August 25th.
that's got to be set September 20th, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Do you know if it's the same victim?
Cody, it'd be better if you don't talk at this point.
Okay.
You don't want to say something that might incriminate yourself.
Okay. On the PC affidavit, it says domestic, so it doesn't make a lot of difference as far as the bonds are concerned, Cody. What'll happen on this one, I'm going to set the bond at $1,000 and have it back on the 20th of September. But then in your other case, which is 17 MM 3139, I'm going to revoke the bond. We're going to hold you without bond on that one. So both of your cases are coming back September 20th. You're going to be at the jail on no bond between now and then. Between now and then, as far as contact goes, I'm ordering you not to call or write any alleged victim from the jail. If you call or write anyone from the jail, you could be subject to criminal contempt for each call or each letter, and criminal contempt in each case is punishable by up to 6 months in the county jail that has nothing to do with the criminal charges. So make sure you don't call or write any alleged victim from the jail. I'll have you back on both cases on the 20th of September, and the public defender will come see you before then, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. All right. And do they know about in custodies?
Is that Mr. Lachey? Lashy?
Okay. I think 10:30 for Judge Ruby, if you hadn't already heard that.
Thank you.
Yep.